Before we begin, make sure to subscribe. What you're about to hear is disturbing, and once it's in your head, it won't leave. These are real places, abandoned, forgotten, but never empty. They are not haunted in the way movies tell it. They are worse. These are abandoned places that should never be entered. Deep in the Carpathian Mountains of Romania, surrounded by forests that swallow sound, there's a hotel that never had a grand opening. Locals call it Hotel Urlatori. Construction stopped after 12 workers fell from the top floor in a single week. No witnesses, no survivors. Their bodies were found stacked at the bottom of the elevator shaft, eyes wide open, faces frozen in the same scream. People say if you step inside, the echo of your footsteps doesn't follow. It leads. Like something is walking ahead of you, showing you the way. Blood-red mold creeps down the wallpaper, and water drips from ceilings where there are no pipes. In room 209, the window always shows the forest in flames, even when it's snowing outside. In Mexico, hidden along the canal of Xochimilco, there's a small island filled with dolls. Hundreds of them, all decaying, all nailed to trees, hung by their necks. It's called Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. Legend says the man who lived there found a drowned girl, and shortly after, a doll floated ashore. He hung it to honor her, but the dolls kept coming. He kept hanging them. Some were missing eyes, others had teeth. He claimed they whispered at night. When they found his body decades later, he had drowned in the exact same spot where he claimed the girl had appeared. His eyes were wide open. His mouth was full of river mud. And yet when tourists visit, some say the dolls blink. Others say they scream. In Japan, there's an abandoned village called Nagoro. It was once full of life. Children, workers, families. But as people left, a woman named Tsukimi Ayano began replacing the missing villagers with dolls. Human-sized, lifelike dolls. She placed them in classrooms, in chairs at the bus stop, on benches. Watching. Waiting. There are more dolls now than there ever were people. Some say the original villagers never left, just changed form. At night, the dolls appear in different positions. One tourist swore he saw one move its hand as he passed by. Locals refuse to go after sunset. They say the dolls don't just sit still. They remember who walks through. And they hate being watched. In the woods of Pennsylvania sits an old asylum, now swallowed by vines and rot. It was once called Fairview Institution. Patients were locked away for reasons no longer on record. Electroshock, lobotomy, and worse. When it shut down in the 1960s, the staff simply left. Beds unmade. Records still open on desks. Blood still on the tiles. Urban explorers say the air is thick, not with dust, but with something heavier. Cameras stop working past the main hallway, and in the basement, there's a padded room with no door handle from the inside. People report hearing screaming, but no one's inside. And sometimes, you can hear someone banging on the walls, begging to be let out. The banging never comes from the same place twice. In Ukraine, the shadow of Chernobyl still stretches across the town of Pripyat. Radiation might have emptied the buildings, but something else kept them cold. Schools still have books open to the last lesson. Dolls sit slumped in the corners of kindergartens. But it's the Ferris wheel that's the worst. It never moved. It never got to carry a single child. And yet, on windless nights, it creaks. Slowly. Like something still rides it. One man who snuck in said he found fresh footprints in the dust. Small ones. Like a child's. But they didn't lead to the door. They led straight into a wall. He left after that and never spoke again. There's a church in France, known only by its nickname, l'Église des Silencieux, the Church of the Silent. Locals refuse to step inside. The pews are filled with statues of monks, or what appear to be statues. Some are headless, others are missing arms, and one has its mouth stretched wide in a scream. They weren't part of the church originally. No one knows where they came from. Visitors say the statues change positions between visits. They sit closer. Some appear in places they weren't before. In the bell tower, there's an old rope. No one dares ring it. Because if you do, the doors slam shut. One man did. He was found hours later in the confessional booth. Eyes gone, tongue missing, and his hands fused together in a praying pose. In the Philippines, a mountain village named Calog disappears from maps. Literally. It's marked on one map, missing on another. Only old locals speak of it, and only in whispers. They say it appears only during certain weeks of the year, cloaked in thick fog. Tourists who visit say there's a graveyard with more graves than people who ever lived there. The strangest part? Every grave bears the same date of death, the same day, the same year, the same time. Some visitors swear they saw their own name on a headstone. Others disappear before they kan ser. Kan ten, kant vangen firm. En yet ti. And finally, there's an apartment in Chicago. Just a regular building. Red bricks. 3 floors. But apartment 3C has never had a tenant for more than 3 weeks. Rent is cheap. Too cheap. But every person who moves in reports the same things. Shadows in the corners. Doors slamming on their own. Faucets running blood instead of water. And a voice whispering from the vents, asking for its body back. The last renter left a note behind. It simply read, "I gave it what it wanted. I hope it doesn't follow you too." These are not stories. These are places. Real. You can find them, but maybe you shouldn't, because some doors, once opened, do not close again. If you made it this far, you're one of the brave ones. Subscribe, because this was just the beginning. There are more places, more stories, more things that were never meant to be found. And some of them are already watching you.